Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and today we're going to be discussing 3 expensive habits that can wreak havoc on your finances. Habits are kind of a funny thing because oftentimes we don't even realize we have them, or we assume that everyone else just has them. One of the prime examples of this and an expensive habit that can really start to add up is buying drinks at restaurants. It's no secret that restaurants want you to buy drinks whenever you go into their establishment. It's why fast food joints often bundle their meal deals with a soda. This is a cheap trick by them, and it's effective for 2 reasons. The first is that it's establishing in your mind that it's normal to have a drink like a soda or a lemonade with a purchased meal. They make it feel like it's a habit that everyone is doing. The second reason is that these sodas can have some of the highest profit margins at the restaurants. A typical fountain drink costs less than 20 cents for a restaurant to serve, and they mark it up to about $2 at the table. That's at least 90% profit margins, whereas other food items might be around 6 to 9%. I personally would rather have water with a meal to start with, and 99% of the time, water is absolutely free. Realize that this is just an expensive trap that's set by the restaurant industry. By just not buying drinks when you eat out, this can really add up to some substantial savings over time. The second habit is a sort of a result of the convenience of the modern world, and that is buying items on Amazon. With the rise of Amazon, online shopping, and auto-populated credit card fields, it's pretty easy to fall into the trap of online browsing even when you don't need anything. But this behavior and the habit of consistently browsing on online stores increases your tendency to buy things spontaneously and convince yourself that they're necessary. This habit is something that can really start to creep into your budget because even small purchases can really add up over time. Not to mention the recommended shopping algorithms have become really sophisticated and are designed to display items that you don't need but will pique your interest. This often leads you to buying items for your fantasy self. And if you haven't heard this concept, I made a video on it and I'll link that below. So next time you're about to spontaneously buy something online, I'd recommend trying to keep the item in your shopping cart for at least 48 hours. And this will ensure that this isn't just a spontaneous purchase for you and you've had time to think it over. The next expensive habit that I recommend you try to avoid is meal delivery services. It's never been easier to just open your phone and have a meal that's hot and ready to go at your door in 20 minutes or so. And oftentimes it's pretty easy to justify these services like Grubhub and Uber Eats because you feel like you don't have enough time to cook. But just a $10 sandwich that you order on one of these apps can turn into $20 whenever you factor in delivery fees and tipping. This is a huge markup on a pretty simple meal. And this can really start to add up, not just over the long term, but only in a matter of a few days. A pretty simple way to avoid this is to make sure you have food at home. I like to buy a lot of frozen meals at Trader Joe's. And even though these tend to be more expensive than making the meal from scratch, it saves me from the temptation to buy delivered meals, which can be way more expensive. And these can be a lot simpler even than the apps. Most of the time you could just throw these frozen meals in a pan and let them cook for 5 minutes. Meal prepping is another great way to avoid this. If you make sure what meals you're going to eat every day of the week, you won't be tempted to get these meals delivered because you didn't plan ahead. So those are the 3 expensive habits that I would recommend you all try and avoid. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.